Well, good evening, everyone. Michael, soothing here. On the road again. Are we on the road again? Or are we still waiting? Personally, I have to wait a little longer for travel. What I thought we would do today is take a look at the latest Via magazine. They send this to you if you are a AAA member. So we'll take a look and see what's going on in Via. It's all about travel on the West Coast. AAA Oregon. See up there? Because I'm a member of that. So they come and tow you if you need it, or unlock your car if you lock yourself out. Things like that. Unfortunate things like that. Haven't had to use them yet in the few years I've lived up here, thankfully. This issue seems to have a lot of the West Coast volcanoes in it, like this one, which I think might be Mount Hood. Look at this little Airstream travel trailer. The coast is inundated right now with RVs, millions and millions of them. They're fleeing the cities, the big cities, and they're coming out to the coast and parking everywhere and trying to take up full-time residence so they don't have to go back to the city. I'm not sure I like that trend. Uh-oh, this is in the way. I gotta move it a little bit. And then I'm gonna have to rotate. The bottom of my thing here is so I gotta rotate this. There. That's better. Walk-in tub. In case you can't step over the lip of a normal tub. The Reading Pledge. Fresh air, clean water, open spaces. Well, unfortunately, they were not experiencing clean air this year. It was filled with smoke for some long time. The Sacramento Valley. Look at the mushrooms. People hunt these in the fall and the winter. Some people make tens of thousands of dollars finding and selling mushrooms. The kind that grow subsurface in certain types of trees in the Cascade Range. It says head to the north coast to forage for tasty fungi. Do you like a nice tasty fungi now and then? I like them sauteed or in, with vegetables sauteed, or what else? Oh, in omelets maybe. Yeah. Maybe a few over a good steak. Although these days, buying a good steak means taking a mortgage out on your house, because it's about $40 for a decent ribeye. That's too much to pay for a piece of meat, I think. So I haven't been buying them. I bought a couple on sale one day, froze one and ate the other, and that's it. Time to shed bad driving habits, it says. Well, in Oregon, there's a lot of those. You have to go find my video about Oregon buffoon drivers. And then sometime I'll make you a video, ASMR, of my driving cam. What do you call that? I got a little cam in the car. And I forget what it's even called now. It's called a dash cam. I know you were all ready to tell me, but I remembered. Distracted driving. Yeah, that's bad. Aggressive driving. Well, depends on how good a driver you are. A good aggressive driver is less dangerous than a bad slow driver. Most of the accidents here are people pulling right out in front of somebody, completely oblivious to looking to the left and the right. Things like that. They drive slow but bad. So that's Oregon. They drive way over to the right side of the road in many cases, on the shoulder. I can't figure that stupidity out. Nobody else does that in other states, or very few. But here in Oregon, they love to do that. Why? I don't know. Fit for life, it says here. Okay. Beating the dead battery blues. When is the last time you changed your car's battery? If you don't remember, it might be time now. I don't remember, but it's not time now. So my car's only 3 years old, and most batteries should last about 5 or 6 years, right? Oh, it even says here, on average, car batteries last 3 to 5 years. All right. Well, we'll swap it out in a year or so to make sure the battery doesn't die. Life is full of little inconveniences. Well, it can also be full of big inconveniences, in my opinion. I've had quite a few of those over the last year or two. 5 things to do this fall. Transform your backyard. Smart life. Go apple picking. Yeah, okay. What was that bang? Did you hear it? Sometimes there's mysterious noises here. Maybe because it's close to Halloween. Let's do a little ear-to-ear ice jiggling before I sip from this. I don't know if that really gives you the effect. Yeah. Watch a movie at the drive-in. Yeah, then you're not breathing someone else's COVID-laden air, right? Clean out your closets. I do need to do that. Trying to reorganize everything. How to buy a car during a pandemic. I don't need to read this because I don't plan on buying any cars during a pandemic or anytime soon. Life without pain. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm not so sure it's a realistic expectation, though. New rules of the road. Plan your itinerary. Yeah, I tried to book a trip to go to my daughter's house in the Seattle area to see the little ones. And the place I was trying to book wouldn't allow people from out of the county to stay there because of COVID. So, yeah, you have to plan. Drive safely. They put this in every article, but they don't really understand what safely means. As I mentioned, they think it just means driving slow. Protect your home when you're away. Leave several pit bulls there, hungry, and not too many people will bother your home. Okay, I'm only joking about that. I don't think pit bulls should even be legal. Autumn impressions. When I was younger, we used to always go, well, even when I was older, and check out the fall colors. When I lived in California, you would go to the Sierras. All of the, what do they call those, aspens and things like that, turn gold, orange, red. Quite beautiful. The Lake Tahoe area, or the south slopes of the Sierras. Let's see some of the places they talk about here. The Alaskan tundra. There's no trees on the tundra. Nevada City. Yeah, I've been there in the fall, and it's really quite colorful and spectacular. And a good time to go because it's not hot. First Food Nation. Native-owned restaurants dish out history and heritage, along with bison tenderloin. I wonder where that is. New Mexico, it says here. Bison. I have not had bison. No, wait, I have. That's buffalo, right? Yeah. Same thing. Tell me if I'm wrong. You guys always tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't mind, I appreciate it. Speaking of the devil, Mount Diablo State Park. I used to see Mount Diablo frequently when I traveled in the Sacramento Valley. On a clear day, you can see it from 100 miles away. If you're on Highway 5 or Highway 880, 101, lots of places. You know what Mount Diablo's known for? It's known for these giant spiders, tarantulas. William Randolph Hearst was going to build his mansion there, but he built it on the coast instead. You can go hiking there. Hoodoo's less traveled. What's a hoodoo? Is that a road? It reminds me of a rhyme or a song. You know, that hoodoo that you do so well. Salem, Oregon. Back to the home state. Salem is the capital of Oregon. Well, I haven't seen this. They're in some kind of giant tree carving. The Enchanted Forest. Oh yeah, I know where that is. But I haven't gone to it. It's kind of a touristy destination, yeah. This looks like a fancy house. Deepwood Museum and its gardens. And the gardens look like just grass, mostly. It's not going to compete with butcher gardens. Beginner's Guide to RVs. The nice thing about an RV is you can go to a lot of different places and know that your accommodations will be there. And also you can clean it and know that somebody wasn't there before you doing something disgusting. So only you might have been doing something disgusting, but that's not as bad, right? Class C RVs are big. Those are huge. Then you've got your Class B and your Class A. The A is small. 33 feet in length for a Class A. Oh wait. Class A is the largest and most spacious of the three. Sorry, I had it reversed. Now you RVers are telling me. You know, figure it out, man. Class B run between 18 to 22 feet long and are the most compact of the three main classes. They drive much like a regular passenger van. That sounds more like my style. I don't need a huge luxury vehicle to travel. Just a place to sleep and cook a small meal and things like that. Because you're really going on the road to see other things, right? Not to just sit in your house. I don't know, maybe I'll take a motorhome trip someday. I don't want to buy one, they're too expensive. Sometimes they blow over the tall ones in a high wind. You don't want that. I told you this one was going to be about, look, there's Yosemite. and Yosemite Falls. I recognize it. Volcanoes, there we are. I just started to say, I told you it was going to be about volcanoes, and there aren't any. But here we are. Experience these majestic marvels and the charming towns that surround them. I like the volcanoes of the West Coast. The Sierras doesn't really have volcanoes, but the Cascade Range, which runs from about the tip of Northern California up through Oregon and Washington, with many volcanoes along the way. When we moved to Vancouver, Washington, Mount St. Helens blew up, and everything was covered in ash. Even though we were about 50 miles away, the wind blew the ash. It was quite a sight. 40 years ago, the world received a loud reminder. Volcanoes can be as powerful as they are beautiful. In 1980, Washington's Mount St. Helens, a gleaming symmetrical peak that sparkled with glaciers and snowfields above slopes of timeless old-growth forest, violently exploded and partially collapsed. Yeah, it lost a few thousand feet off the top. It literally blew its top. And when I was a kid, we had stayed at Spirit Lake there. There was volcanic rock you could throw into the lake and it would float because it has air pockets in it. Pumice. Uh-oh, I got a drip of water. But since I only read these once, that's okay. Should I leave it at the dentist office? But yeah, we stayed there and camped at a lake, a beautiful lake, but the lake was exploded away, and this old-timer lived there who refused to leave when they told him the mountain was going to erupt soon. The old-timer said, "No, I'm not leaving." So he's buried there in ash and so forth at his cabin that he wouldn't leave. Somewhat sad story, but that's the way he wanted to go, so what can I say? See, this was a big peak before, and now the top part is all gone. Yeah, don't let that happen to you, okay? There's a big bowl there where there used to be a mountain. It exploded and came down this way, leveled the forest for a long number of miles, just blew the trees all flat. Amazing. Look at this place, an old school burger shack in Elba, feeds hungry hikers. I'm very hungry for this burger right at this moment. We don't have a place around here that has good burgers. Maybe I'll have to make my own. This is Mount Rainier, the great big volcanic peak that looms up above Seattle in the distance. It's quite huge. Look at this, the Yellowstone caldera. I guess there used to be a massive... Oh, you can't see it. I have to hold it up. Sorry about that. There it is, the Yellowstone caldera. Hot springs. This is one of the places I have never been, is Yellowstone. And I intend to go there at some point, when you're allowed to travel again properly. I will go to Yellowstone. Jellystone National Park, if you used to watch Yogi the Bear cartoons. They called it Jellystone. This is very cold water, see? I like it with lots of ice. When I go to a restaurant, I always tell them to put lots of ice in my drink. Mount Bachelor. You can see Mount Bachelor in the distance when you're driving on Highway 5. It's kind of a beautiful volcano, as many of them are. I want to go fishing in this stream right here. Or this river. 12-mile Deschutes River Trail runs through Bend, Oregon. Yeah, Mount Bachelor. Sibley Volcanic Regional Preserve. What other volcanoes do we have? Oh, yeah, of course. Mount Shasta. That's a very big and impressive volcano. When you're driving up Central California, or Northern California, Central Valley, driving up Highway 5, you initially see just the top part of it in the distance. Because of the curvature of the Earth, you can only see the very top part at first on an extremely clear day. One of the things that proves we don't live on a flat Earth, you brain-dead flat earthers need to understand. This is one of the very simple ways you can, verify you live on a globe, because at first you see it like that, because a good portion of it down here is hidden by the curvature of the Earth. And then as you get closer and closer, you see more and more of the mountain, okay? Yeah, that's on a very clear day, of course. When you're driving north on Highway 5, days when there's like 140-mile visibility or so, in the winter, when the air is quite clean, Shasta rises 10,000 feet above rolling forest land. Dormant volcano looms over large swaths of Northern California. It's looming right there, see? It's in the act of looming at this very moment over Northern California. And even in the summer you can see snow on it. Lassen Peak, they're not really showing it. I haven't really been to, I've seen Mount Lassen dozens of times driving up and down Highway 5, but I've not been to it. So I want to go there someday too. Is that it? They missed a very important volcano. They missed Mount Hood, our big volcano that's close to Portland, that you can see on clear days. It's beautiful. And it is the place where they filmed The Shining. The Overlook Hotel was supposed to be in the Rocky Mountains in the story, but they actually filmed it at Mount Hood in Oregon by Portland. And I want to go up to that hotel, which was named the Overlook in the book. In the movie, Berries and Mushrooms. You can hunt for all this stuff in Oregon. We have picked lots of blackberries here in season. Usually in July and August is the best time. Sometimes late June you can find them. And you don't have to pay to pick them. There's lots of wild berries here. Millions of them. I would be more cautious with the mushrooms, because sometimes the highly toxic ones look just like the ones that are okay to eat. So you would have to be really an expert. Mushrooms, like people, come in two varieties, the good kind and the toxic kind, and sometimes they look the same, so it makes it hard to tell them apart. What's worse than a toxic person to be around, right? Berries, mushrooms, and shellfish. I haven't gone clam digging either, but I would like to someday go clam digging and make a nice clam chowder out of the clams. You gotta boil them up, and then I guess they pop open and you can get the clam out and pry it and have a clam bake. Berries. I don't like oysters though, I must admit. I'm really not a fan. I agree with Rosanna Dana from the 1970s Saturday Night Live and her opinion about oysters. Maybe you can find it on YouTube. Berry picking tips for berry picking trips. Be bear aware. Yeah, don't go naked. No, wait, that's not what it means. It says coastal black bears enjoy berries too. Avoid trails with fresh bear scat or other signs of their presence. Talk, sing, or jingle bells to make your presence known. Well, some singers, karaoke type, might enrage the bear into attacking, so if you're really bad, so I'm not sure about the singing part, but making noise, they'll usually leave you alone. Coastal black bears are not typically mean the way the big brown bears are, which are called grizzly bears or Kodiak bears, or even polar bears are kind of subspecies of grizzly. They're quite aggressive and mean, but the little black bears are pretty nice, friendly bears. Yeah. That doesn't mean you should go up and try to feed them, however. Skip areas sprayed with herbicides. Yeah, and be careful about picking berries, like right by the road, where the road crews might be spraying herbicides to kill off weeds, because you don't want any toxins in your berries. Wear long sleeves and long pants. If you're picking blackberries, that's very, very good advice. No, I got that wrong. I was supposed to say very, very good advice. Yeah, because they have a lot of thorns, and they'll wound you greatly if you try to pick them. You don't have long sleeves on. Huckleberries. I'd like to get some huckleberries. They're pretty yummy. What is that book by Mark Twain? Huckleberry Finn. Read that when I was young. Musharoomy rooms. Brought to life by September rains, wild mushrooms on the Oregon coast are nothing short of spectacular in a good year. Usually associated with particular habitats, etc., etc. Here are some mushroom gathering tips. Forage with an experienced guide. Check the websites of Fort Stevens, Yachats, Village Mushroom Fest, Oregon-based mycological societies for walks and lectures. I'm just going to skip all of that because I don't want to pick the wrong one. Lobster fungi, it says, eat certain mushrooms. Lobster fungi. So that's a mushroom eating another mushroom. Okay. That must be that right there. That's one fungi eating another one. Sort of like what fish do, huh? I went fishing not long ago. Caught a couple of small jack salmon lots of fun to catch, but they weren't keepers, so I had to throw them back. So I can't really show them to you. But yeah, I'm gonna go fishing again quite soon. It's cold and windy outside today. I'm gonna have to substitute my ice water for some hot coffee or tea soon, I think. Yeah. Ancient trees. Willamette National Forest, just east of Eugene, Oregon, is a renowned destination. Well, unfortunately, a good deal of that forest just west of Eugene just burnt up in a massive, terrible fire. We had what's called the perfect storm of conditions, which was a drought year, the end of summer, hot weather, and a huge dome of high pressure moving in east of the Cascades, pushing all the hot desert air at very high speed to the west, just after a massive lightning storm had sparked dozens or even hundreds of fires in the forest, and all that led to what they call a once-in-a-generation forest fire. Actually, several big forest fires up and down the Cascade and Sierra Mountain Range, and even the coastal range. It was quite something. Hopefully, will not recur again in our lifetime, but we'll see. Wealth preservation. I'm telling you guys, gold and silver are really going to skyrocket over the next few years. But don't invest based on my say-so. Do your own research. I never take credit for losses, only for gains. Somebody criticized me for talking about it, but it's not a matter of trying to get rich. It's a matter of being a good steward with your investment account. In my case, my retirement 401k. If you're invested in bonds in a zero interest rate environment like we have now, there's nowhere to go but down. If your money's in cash, and right now they're printing trillions of dollars for all this stimulus programs and debt, the cash purchasing power is going to erode away over the next 10 years and dwindle more and more. Stocks, for the most part, are risky because the market's gone too high and the earnings don't justify the heights to which it's gone in many cases. Although there are some good sectors, I think, like the solar power sector is one that I'm invested in. Take a look at the ETF called TAM, which spreads across several solar companies, and you will see how much it's gained over the last year. Quite a lot, because everybody's expecting a lot more renewable in the future and a lot less fossil fuel power generation. But anyway, never mind all that. What gold and silver do, there's big mega cycles. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this anymore because that's probably a topic for another video where I can put you to sleep. So instead, I'm just going to encourage you to get out and enjoy the outdoors if you get a chance, which is exactly what I'm going to do over the next few months and years, God willing. I want to take a trip to some of these places that we've talked about. Yeah. I want to go to It would only take me a few hours to drive to Mount Hood and go see the Overlook Hotel, which I think is, from The Shining, although it's called something else in real life. It might be called Timberline or something, I'm not sure. Can't remember. So yeah, I'm going to go up to the mountains when springtime comes. Maybe a fall trip soon, if the weather's nice. All right, everybody. That's it for now. Don't ASMR and drive. And I hope that you have a good week. Bye-bye.